Most have come to expect the Crimson Tide to win every game they play, and for the most part, Nick Saban has complied. Yet, it seems there's always one game that has the potential to undo this championship-seeking football team. Even in the undefeated season of 2009, Alabama needed the miracle of Terrence Cody's Rocky Block to save the day. On paper, the 2018 schedule does not look so difficult, but who would have thought freshman quarterback Johnny Manziel would topple the Tide in Bryant-Denny Stadium? Despite how straightforward the Alabama 2018 schedule appears, odds are Alabama will be challenged when we least expect it. So let's start with a brief overview of Alabama's first four opponents of the 2018 football season. Season opener, September 1st, Alabama vs. Louisville. Louisville's Heisman-winning quarterback, Lamar Jackson, is now gone. It is time for the Cardinals' four-star quarterback, Jawan Pass, to take the helm. The Louisville Cardinals have indeed lost depth, but the Crimson Tide shouldn't get too complacent. Both teams will see some new young starters. Louisville has a lot of returning talent on the offense, but is lacking on defense. The Tide's secondary, which is now loaded with new faces, will be tested in Bobby Petrino's pass-happy offense with elite receivers like Jalen Smith. In addition, this game will take place in a stadium and city that Bama is not familiar with. Either way, Louisville only managed an 8-win season with first-round draft pick Lamar Jackson. Simply put, beating Nick Saban in a season opener is more than this team can hope to handle. The current spread is Alabama by 25+ points. September 8th, Alabama vs. Arkansas State. The headline for this matchup is the Red Wolves' returning quarterback, Justin Hansen. Hansen is no joke. He threw for an impressive 4,000 yards last season and could test the nubile Alabama secondary more than Louisville will in the season opener. Much like Louisville, Arkansas State has some veteran skill players returning, but is losing key players on the defensive side of the ball. This is where the Red Wolves will have significant trouble fending off Alabama's offensive attack, likely led by Tua Tagovailoa and his army of NFL-caliber receivers that we caught a glimpse of in the national championship game. However, Arkansas State only lost 2 games last year and nearly beat Nebraska in their season opener. All of that said, make no mistake, this game is a mismatch. Expect Arkansas State to put up points, but primarily because Alabama will be running a vanilla scheme as the Tide uses this game to tune up. Alabama wins handily, with the current spread being greater than 5 touchdowns. September 15th, Alabama at Ole Miss. This is Alabama's first conference opponent, and likely first true test for Bama's Tua Tagovailoa. Saban and company will be playing the Rebels as their first away game, which could give way to Bama's youthful team's first significant jitters. While Ole Miss lost their former quarterback, Shea Patterson, to Michigan, their new quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, is the real deal. Ta'amu won 3 of his last 4 games and had over 365 yards in his first 3 starts under center, amassing 1,252 yards and 11 touchdowns in a short time as the Rebels' offensive leader. Ole Miss has an impressive 15 starters returning that are split evenly between their offense and defense for the 2018 season. This compared to the 14 returning for Alabama, split with 9 on offense and 5 returning on defense. Ole Miss has 3 incredibly talented receivers in A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, and DeMarcus Lodge, who combined for 25 touchdowns in their 2017 season. In contrast, Alabama lost its primary receiver, Calvin Ridley, but has an arsenal of receiver talent with guys like Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Devontae Smith returning. Ole Miss has a healthy offensive line, as does Alabama, and even more experience in their secondary, with Woods, Webster, Jones, and Hartsfield all ready to go. Frankly, the more one analyzes this Ole Miss roster, the better this matchup looks. However, even with more experience, Alabama has too much talent offensively for Ole Miss to pose a significant challenge. Look for this game to end with Alabama up by 3 touchdowns. September 22nd, Alabama vs. Texas A&M. Nick Saban faces off against one of his most successful proteges, Jimbo Fisher. While Jimbo has won a national championship, this is his first year whipping the Aggies into shape. So exactly what kind of shape is Texas A&M in, and do they pose a significant threat? Unfortunately for Alabama fans, the Aggies have a great deal of returning talent. Similarly to Alabama, there is a heated quarterback competition going on in College Station between Kellen Mond and Nick Starkel. Both of these quarterbacks have their strengths, and whichever one faces Alabama in Game 3 is more than capable of challenging Alabama's young defensive backs. Look for the Aggies starting quarterback to target returning receivers Cameron Buckley and Jamon Osborne. Both the Crimson Tide and Aggies return an equal number of starters, with an even offensive and defensive split at College Station. The biggest blow to the Aggies is the loss of wide receiver Christian Kirk, who left for the NFL draft after he destroyed the record books in College Station. It goes without saying, his absence will be of great benefit to Alabama. Bottom line, Texas A&M had a less than stellar 7-6 season last year, and even with Jimbo Fisher leading the charge, they're a couple of years away from being a significant threat to Saban and his Crimson Tide dynasty. Moreover, Jimbo Fisher faces a daunting task, breaking the undefeated 12-0 record Nick Saban has against his former assistants. The Vegas spread is currently Alabama favored by 21 points, and while the Aggies pose a potential threat, the Football Power Index still has Alabama at an 84.2% chance of victory. Remember, there are no guarantees in college football. On any given day, any team can be beaten. With that in mind, Alabama appears to have a favorable initial stretch to their 2018 season. Expect Nick Saban to utilize these games to develop the position groups with little to no experience and generate valuable depth and overall team experience as the season progresses. Guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this Alabama opponent breakdown, and I encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comment section on how you think these games will play out in the 2018 season. Please subscribe, like, and share, and as always, thanks for watching and take care.